Welcome to Dine with the Stylish Chef. I'm Chef Quart, the Stylish Chef, and today we'll be making my stylish mashed potatoes. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to introduce you to is the potato that I'm going to be using. Today I'm going to be using yellow golden potatoes. This gives them more starchy, more creamy, it's more richer, and it gets a nice vibrant color. So the first thing we would like to do, as you can see here, I got my water boiling for the potatoes. And as that's boiling, I'm going to start peeling the potatoes, right? So, you just peel. Right now I'm just going to do about 10 potatoes, cut it up after I peel them, so it'll be easier to boil. You don't want to put a whole potato in there. It takes so long when you use a whole potato. So you just want to peel these potatoes, cut them as small. So I'm going to just put them aside until it's ready for me to cut. And you just go on. So I like to cut them in cubes. And in the meantime also, some of the ingredients that we're going to be using, if you want to get your ingredients ready, I'm going to be using butter, cream, olive oil, and just salt and pepper for now for the potatoes. So as you see here, I did 2 potatoes now. I'm going to cut them in half and cut that half in half and just dice it up. Again, cut in half and just dice it up. You just go from there and directly into the pot. Just allow that to boil. You can cover it. I like to let it boil naturally. Don't cover it because then boil over with all the starch. But until then, just let it, and then till tender. You could boil it as long as possible, but remember you're going to be mashing it. And I'm going to also introduce you to my favorite tool when making potatoes, a ricer. Makes it nice and creamy, but we'll get back to that later. So in the meantime, I'm just going to be cutting these potatoes and then putting it in the pot. Alright, now that we have the potatoes boiling in the water, now that we're going to wait till that gets to a boil. In the meantime, we're going to get the base of it. So that we have our heavy cream and we have our sticks of butter. We have our salt and our white peppers. Notice that I didn't put any salt in the water because I want to make sure that I know what I'm tasting and how much salt intake I should put in the water. So basically I have the pot here, a nice small pot. Got my heavy cream, just going to pour that in there. Now this is about half a quart. About half a pound of butter I'm going to put in here, so 2 sticks if you get to a supermarket that gives you the butter like this. So 2 sticks is fine. Again, I'm not seasoning the liquid at all until it's time to whisk the potatoes. So now I'm going to bring that up. Get this pot going. And this should come to a boil in no less than 5 minutes. So once all this is melted, we're going to take this out. We're going to take the potato out, put it through our ricer, add the cream gradually and whisk in. And you're going to see how smooth and how creamy this mashed potato is. Alright, so as you can see, the potatoes as well as the cream are now boiling up. The cream, as you can see, is coming together with the butter, is melting down, it's boiling up. So you just want to turn this down to a nice simmer as we wait for that. Even if you don't feel comfortable with having it simmer, if you want to go do something else, just remove it from the heat. And still keep warm and still remain heated because remember the potatoes are going to be hot, so everything is going to be coming together and still be hot. So if you don't feel comfortable leaving it on the heat, you can either turn it off or just remove it directly from the flame. Alright, so the potatoes has boiled for about 8 to 10 minutes. It's the tenderness that I would like. So what I'm going to do now is turn the flame off, the water, and we're going to drain it through a strainer. Or if you have a coriander, you can do that also. You drain it right through, any excess water, bring it back to the pot here. Just leave that there, let it drain. And like I said before, with the ricer I introduced here, we're gonna put everything here and squeeze it directly into the bowl. So we have this here. I'm gonna take this, I have a spoon. Just take a little at a time. Alright, take a little at a time. You don't want to fill it up because you want to leave room for the air to get through, and you don't really want to mash it. So as you see here, I'm going to bring it close. You just push it down. And you see, nice and smooth. Alright, so So easy to whisk after this. You know, you can go back and forth. And again, you don't want to fill it up. You know, you want to leave room to push it down, and you don't want to make a mess. So you just keep going. And then after that, we're gonna add the butter and the cream, and we're gonna whisk right in. So you see, it's so perfect, especially when it's just hot. You don't want to keep it too long because you don't want the starch when it gets cold to not harden the potatoes. All right, so now we have all the potatoes here ready, riced, nice and smooth. And right before you whisk, like before I whisk, I like to get a towel, spin it around, you know, wrap it underneath the bowl so that way it's not moving. You know, you have more of a secure area with that. So again, remember you have the pot here, it's hot, always hold it with a handle, hold the handle with a towel. You know, you just want to slowly, you don't want to drop everything at the same time because you want to whisk it and work with it. You know, just hold one side and just whisk right in. Now again, notice I didn't put any salt and pepper yet because I want to make sure that I'm tasting it as I go and it's a nice consistency. So right now it's coming together, but it's not as creamy as I would like. So I'm just going to add a little bit more cream and butter. You know, whisk that in. You know, it's nice and smooth. Nice, smooth texture. Could work with it easy. Could pipe it. Could spoon it onto the plate. You know, anything that you want to do, you know, you go from there. So now we have that. So we have this. We have salt. Nice kosher salt, you know, it's about 4 pinches, and white pepper. Now I use white pepper simply because I don't want it to change color. You don't want to see the specks, especially for presentation. You don't want don't want anyone to think that you put anything in there that's foreign. So, you know, the white pepper would combine well. You won't even see it, but it has a great taste as well. Because, you know, sometimes black pepper look like specks, like maybe you put raisins in it. You know, you don't want nobody to think that. So, you know, you go from there. Nice consistency. Again, this is how I like mine. You can add a little bit more cream. You know, if you want it more smooth, you can add less. If you don't want it to be that smooth. So, you know, so this is just nice and smooth. You know, so you want it to be like a nice peak. See that? See that, Steve? There you go. So we're gonna taste this. We're gonna taste it directly. Delicious. Nice, creamy, not too salty, just right. You know, it could go well with salmon, steak and potatoes. You know, a nice, delicious dish. So, thank you for watching Dining with the Stylish Chef. I'll see you next time. Welcome to Dining with the Stylish Chef. I'm Chef Quart. I'm Chef Quart. Today, we're going to be making shrimp scampi mashed potatoes.